When picking out the perfect monthly paying dividend stocks, especially for a smaller portfolio relatively speaking, I think you should look for dividend stocks that have at least a few of, if not all, these metrics. These monthly paying dividend stocks, of course, for one, have to pay monthly because as an investor with a smaller portfolio, you're going to want to get more and more cash flow into that portfolio ASAP to take full advantage of opportunities that might come up throughout the market on a week-to-week basis. Now, also, these stocks are going to have a decent starting dividend yield so that you can get cash flow from day one. And not only that, they're going to have dividend growth. And even if it's not the fastest dividend growth ever, they're going to need to have to pay a dividend that grows over time to at least hopefully keep up with inflation. Now in this video, we're going to go through 3 different monthly paying dividend stocks that I would consider investing into, especially if I was building out a smaller portfolio that I was looking to compound pretty quickly in a relatively short amount of time. Now make sure to drop a like down below, subscribe, and let's get into the first monthly paying dividend stock. I just finished my brand new dividend investing ebook where I share exactly how I went from 0 to now over 7 figures invested, and also on how I earned more than $6,000 per month in dividends. I also finished my custom dividend tracker that you can use to track your dividend income progress on an ongoing basis. So make sure to grab yourself a copy of my dividend investing ebook and the new dividend tracker today. It's the first link in my description. So the first monthly paying dividend stock that I would definitely consider for a smaller portfolio that has the potential to compound the portfolio is none other than ticker symbol MAIN, or Main Street Capital. Now Main Street Capital is a business development company that primarily provides debt and equity capital to relatively small, high-leverage companies that can't access traditional financing from banks. Now, Main Street Capital, according to Simply Safe Dividends, does have a safe dividend. It is a little bit on the lower end of the safety score, but it still is green and it still is safe. Main Street Capital has a starting yield of 6.44%, which is going to give an investor, especially a relatively small investor, a whole lot of cash flow from day one, which again can be helpful to reinvest into more different dividend paying stocks or ETFs, of course. Main Street Capital's dividend growth is around 2.1%, and as you can see right here, although Main Street Capital has paid more and more in dividends basically year after year, Main Street Capital's dividend growth is a little bit slow, but again, with a starting yield as high as Main Street Capital offers, I'll definitely take it. Also, Main Street Capital does have a dividend growth streak of 12 years of consecutive increases, and on top of that, 15 years of dividends without a reduction. Also, Main Street Capital definitely has the potential to skyrocket a relatively smaller portfolio, considering over the last 15 or so years, Main Street Capital is up over 247%, not even including dividends. Now, if you're looking for monthly dividends, definitely check out Main. But with that, let's get into the next one. The next monthly paying dividend stock that would be perfect for a relatively smaller portfolio, in my opinion, is Realty Income, or ticker symbol O. Now, Realty Income doesn't really need any introduction. We all probably know exactly what ticker symbol O is. It's the monthly paying dividend stock, one of the most famous in its space. Now, Realty Income is an 80 on the dividend safety score, so at least according to Simply Safe Dividends, Realty Income's dividend is much safer than that of even compared to Main. And speaking of dividends, Realty Income has a 5.84% starting dividend yield, which is extremely high, much higher than that, at least that we've seen a lot of times in history when it comes to Realty Income's dividend. But on top of that, in the dividend front, Realty Income has paid a dividend for 54 consecutive years, which is insane, and has raised their dividends for 28 years, with increases every single year. Over the last 20 years, Realty Income has paid around 5% more per year, which is not only keeping up with inflation, but arguably even beating it, and with a dividend yield of 5.84% as a starting yield, Realty Income definitely has got my full attention. Now, up until recently, Realty Income's price return has also been extremely impressive, up around 538%, and this is on the chart since around 1995. Now, ever since the interest rates have been raised, you can see that Realty Income, along with pretty much all the REITs, have been in the slump. But I've been using this as a buying opportunity, loading up on a ton of Realty Income, and as of filming this video, I personally am holding over 2,800 shares of ticker symbol O. The next reason why I think Realty Income is a smash buying opportunity this year and beyond, especially for long-term dividend growth investors like myself, is because Realty Income, although it does have a nice high starting dividend yield, is one of the best sleep well night single stocks across the entire market, if you ask me. Now, what I mean by this is a lot of times when you buy into a relatively higher starting yield stock, and don't get it twisted, not an ETF, a single stock, you are placing a lot of money in just one basket. But with Realty Income having over 13,250 different commercial properties, with over 1,300 different clients who operate across the world, and with Realty Income being so diversified, this real estate investment trust, Realty Income, is going to allow long-term dividend growth investors to sleep well at night, knowing that most likely this REIT should do just fine no matter what happens in the economy next. Now, when it comes to Realty Income, I definitely put my money where my mouth is, and as you can see right here on my master dividend tracker, as of my last update, I have around 2,818 shares of ticker symbol O that currently pay me north of around $700 or $800 a month every single month now. Not to mention though, Realty Income doesn't only offer dividends, although the dividends are one of the best parts about Realty Income, at least in my opinion. But Realty Income also has grown over time, which is a great aspect of having a buy and hold investment, of course. You don't want the investment to just trade sideways or even, of course, trade down. Even if you are getting paid cash flow consistently, you want the underlying investment that you bought into to grow over time, which is what Realty Income has done. And as you can see on the max time frame, Realty Income is up around 632% as of filming this video, and Realty Income is trading nearly in the middle of the 52-week range. So for long-term buy and hold investors like myself, Realty Income could still be a good opportunity to load up on some more shares before the Federal Reserve starts cutting interest rates. Now, the last monthly paying dividend stock that I would definitely consider for a portfolio that I was looking to compound as fast as possible would be ticker symbol ADC or Agree Realty. Now, Agree Realty is very similar to that of Realty Income. They are a real estate investment trust that owns over 2,000 properties across America. Now, ADC's dividend safety score is 70, so also just like Maine and Realty Income, ADC's dividend should be pretty safe. Now, also Agree Realty's dividend yield starting is around 5.09%. So just like Realty Income, where it's trading currently, it's offering a much larger dividend than it has historically, which could be an amazing buying opportunity. As far as dividend growth goes, over the last 5 years, Agree Realty has had some pretty significant dividend growth, around 7%. But on the long term, Agree Realty's dividend has been growing a little bit slower at around 2%. But all in all, Agree Realty's dividend has been going up with around 10 years of consecutive increases and 11 years without a reduction. Now, ADC is a newer position that I added in my portfolio over the last year time frame while it's been trading so low. And although, like I said, I do own a majority Realty Income across the board when it comes to all REITs in my portfolio, I have grabbed a little bit of ADC, considering this REIT could be a massive buying opportunity and could be trading well above $70 per share in the next 1 or 2 years, in my opinion. Now, since around 1994, ADC is also up significantly, up 431%. So this REIT has performed very well, especially if you zoom out a little bit. So there we have it. Those are 3 different monthly paying dividend stocks that I personally not only hold on to, but that I also think could be offering a great buying opportunity for long-term buy and hold investors, especially with a relatively small portfolio. Now, again, like I touched on, monthly paying dividend stocks or ETFs can come in handy, especially if you are a dividend growth investor like myself that's looking to use the cash balance that comes in on a monthly basis to purchase more and more different stocks or ETFs to compound your portfolio a lot quicker. But out of the 3 different monthly paying dividend stocks we went through in this video, ticker symbol O, Realty Income, Main Street Capital, or Agree Realty, if you were able to only pick one of them and hold them forever, which one would it be and why? Drop a comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to please drop a like on it and subscribe for more future content like this. So make sure to grab yourself a copy of my dividend investing ebook and the new dividend tracker today. It's the first link in my description. Thanks as always for stopping by, and if you are interested in investing, make sure to check out these recent videos I posted right here.